I work in the realm of metaphysics. So quantum physics with regard to human consciousness and how can our consciousness change our reality. And a lot of it is using modalities that bring us into a virtual reality space, which would be how we achieve true mathematical fourth and fifth dimension awareness, is by going what we call going within. But I don't use hypnosis. I don't use any sort of deep meditation or journeying that requires the mind to step aside. I do it just by raising the vibration so that the mind can participate. Now, what does that do? That kind of slows everything down a little bit because the mind has to first accept what's happening. All right, so for people who are not used to journeying in fourth and fifth, it's a lot like having a world of imagination in your head in a virtual reality setting, except things then happen when you work with me, and people get quantum jet lag, they get lightheaded, they get dizzy coming back too fast, because even though it feels like it's imagination, when we raise the vibration and we lighten the density, it looks like imagination, but it doesn't feel like imagination, and the body does have physiological responses if we bring people back. And you'll see it sometimes on lives when we go fast. We get folks that they just got to acclimate a little bit longer, take a little bit longer to come home, so to speak. And I do that for individuals because my packages are my full-time practice. I work with people in 6-hour packages. And that's not always feasible. It's not always feasible to spend $900 a shot to work with me for 6 hours. So I do TikTok demonstrations so people can come up and they can participate in $50 or $75 increments. And then they get 15 to 20 minutes for us to do some energy work. And it's a little bit more affordable for people that can't work with me as a student or a long-term client. So that's what I do usually. And we go as deep as you want to go. If you think you've had alien abductions, or there's implants, or portals, or parallel universes, anything deep metaphysics. But we can also do simple things. I say simple, but more 3D based psychology. And that might be like helping to move trauma out of the body where traditional mental health and medical professionals have not succeeded for you. So my modalities tend to be really successful with people who have not had the greatest success using mainstream Western medicine modalities. My method for clearing trauma tends to be considerably faster than EMDR or other psychotherapeutic modalities, but I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed mental health professional. I just use fourth and fifth dimension tools to achieve this, to reach the same destination. So different mode of transportation. And then of course there's times when people like Karen has come up for a demonstration and we were on a marshmallow planet, or Stella came up for a demonstration once and we got some sort of flash mob dance going where she got to planet surf, and that generated power for her, additional energy. We never know what we're going to get, so it's kind of a mixed bag. When people come up, most of the time it's trauma or energetic shifts in the body to validate things that are happening with people. So we get to play. We get to play all the time. Let me first ground everyone. Do that one more time. One more. Okay, now I'm going to connect everyone, and it's going to take me about 5 minutes. I'm going to do it. Ooh. Has anyone else seen that? Like very like slow-mo thing going on? I'm going to connect all of us together. And for those that are brand new to my lives, It doesn't mean that you're going to share the person to your left or to your right. It just means that you are like tapping into the Wi-Fi. You're tapping into my Wi-Fi. And I'm going to share a signal with everyone. If you just want to observe, set the intention to be outside of the circle. And if you want to participate, set the intention to be inside the circle. Now you need to imagine that there's a circle where all of us are standing around, much like if we were to stand around a campfire. And I'm going to move the energy through the group, just like if we were at a sporting event when they do the wave and everyone kind of goes together. We're going to do something like that. And I think tonight we're going to do some work on the back of the head. The atlas and the top of the neck have a lot of power in them, and it's really easy for trauma to sit in there or for stress to sit, as well as the base of the neck. So we're going to focus just on the neck tonight, and that is going to free up energy that'll loosen if there's any headache, tension headaches, migraines, PTSD spikes, because PTSD sits in the neck, and some other traumas will sit in the neck. So if we can release the tension off of the vertebrae and the discs, it allows the energy to flow more efficiently to reach those organs that are tied to the different vertebrae in the neck. So I'm coming in with just my hand as if my hand were coming to the back of your head, and I'm going to put some energy at the very base of the skull, right at the back side, and a little bit into the top of the neck. I'm going to cradle that for a moment to warm it up, just like we would do if you get a massage where you warm up. You get a massage before a chiropractic visit or something like that, where you would warm up the muscle first before you work on it. I have to cup it differently. I have to cup it. Okay. Some of you that are in a little bit of a stressful space with dissociation or just struggling a little bit, whether it's depression, I'm going to continue grounding that space first. And sometimes it's just struggles, like financial struggles or relationship struggles, that we tense ourselves up, and then it affects the muscles, the trapezius muscles, and the tension constricts around our neck. We're going to loosen that by grounding the energy, like an energetic sedative or a topical anesthetic. Just very light, gentle, energetic shift of motion, rocking. Ooh, anyone else having anyone else's palms heating up? My hands are heating up, connecting to the energy, the collective. So I see everyone right now as one silhouette, and it's like this one silhouette represents all 35 of you. Breathe through your neck as if you had nostrils on the back of your neck. Let the energy move out. Rather than up or down, let it exhale out like an exhaust pipe. I'm going to heat it up just a little bit. Let me know if you personally are feeling it in an intense way, and I will back down for the group. You may feel it hitting the jaw or the occipital edge, the edge of the cranium. Pressure on the ears. Well, what else? Oh, pressure underneath under the tongue. So I think one of you is getting some pressure on your chest. It's okay. For those that have any injuries or bulging discs in C3, what I'm working on right now is specific to you. There's 2 or 3 of you that have some unnecessary pressure in that space. Does anyone on the live right now have bulging discs in their neck? I'm going to move the energy. I'm going to move it back in place, like moving a peg in Jenga back to being aligned for the game. I'm going to move the energy back, and that will assist everyone on the live as well. So I'm going to address it from all sides. Whose ears just popped when I did that? Yep, ears popping when I'm pushing that energy. Okay, if your ears popped, that was you specifically. Okay, all sides. You can tell from the yawn that it's exhaling energy that got stuck. Okay. C2. Who? C2, C4. Who has, anyone aware of having arthritis in C2 or C4? I'm seeing arthritis, mild, not severe. So even for those that don't have arthritis in the neck, I'm going to shoot energy. It's this gold energy. And then I'm going to place a crystal, which may sound a little foreign to some of the new folks. We're going to do I'm going to go through and I'm going to run this energy through the spine, or through the neck from the atlas down. We're going to go down. For the longest time, we believed that trauma sat in the mind, PTSD sat in the mind and the brain. We're finding that's not true, and the more we understand trauma, the more we see and we can validate through research how trauma sits in our spine and in our organs. Different traumas sit in different filing cabinets in our body. It gets stored there. And sometimes it gets stored like a perishable that goes bad and it spoils and it creates a disease or a disorder. Obviously, I'm simplifying it in my explanation, but The more we understand trauma, the more we understand the importance of being able to communicate with our own bodies. Okay, what I'm doing is going into the fibers of the being, like the markings in the vertebrae, the markings in the bone, filling them in with this energy. Okay. Right now I acquired the use of crystal energy. And this isn't crystals like you would access here. Imagine these crystals are from another planet or another lighter density of existence, and I'm going to place these two crystals. They're tiny. I'm going to place them in your neck, one at the top of the neck and one toward the bottom, so maybe C2 and C5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to turn this up. This is not Reiki. Reiki means, for the most part, taking energy from source through a person as a straw into the client or individual, so through the practitioner to the individual. What I do is not Reiki. I'm either using my own energy or I'm activating and providing the resources for you to use your own energy. I prefer to train your mind to understand what it's capable of and to do it for you. So what I do in my practice is train your mind to understand how to work with the spirit as its partner, to provide the causes and conditions to self-heal. I'm going to ask a question. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, but if you are crying right now or tearing right now, you are welcome. If you want to identify yourself, I will give you some extra energy. Amplify it, because I'm a natural intensifier. So when I come in, I'm like the amplifier on a stage. I'm going to intensify who you are. And if your normal everyday energy system is acoustic, I would be the amplifier for you. You are still the performer. It's still your instrument. I'm simply allowing it to be more prominent and intensified so you can see yourself in a more expansive way. I'm moving the energy around inside the neck. So if the neck were a beam of energy rather than the spine, I'm rotating the energy at a horizontal stirring. And this allows, think of it like cleaning something with a sponge. We're going to pick up any residue inside that tube or beam of light. Okay, show if you're feeling that heat. Let the energy do its job. Let it run up and down. Okay. I can help you understand what you just saw. Start closing everyone down. Slow it down, close it out. Okay, I'm going to start disconnecting. No worries, Linda. I'm going to put this one on YouTube. Okay, everyone's disconnected in the same sense of like the Wi-Fi in your house turning off. Everyone is disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Laura.